We want to bring in Daniel Corrigan. He's the co-owner of Smidge. Great to have you with us, Daniel. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm great. Tell us more about Smidge. First, how'd you come up with the name? It's interesting.
Yep. So really our philosophy of our nutritional supplements is different than others. A lot of times you'll see on the shelf, mega dose, mega this. And so we're all about putting the body, our philosophy is different in the sense that we want to put the body into balance. And so you just need a smidge of certain nutrients to kind of help support the body. So our goal is to help people create optimal health by putting themselves into balance.
That really is pretty creative. And so with that too, how'd you come to develop this company?
Sure. Yeah. So my health deteriorated when I was in my 20s. I should probably have been at the top of my game, right? And my health kept going down and down and down, and went to doctors, holistic practitioners, went to all these different people. And what I came up with, the conclusion was I had to take control of my own health. And so that was kind of like, I have to do something. I can't go somewhere else and, have them solve my problem for me. And so what happened was I started looking more closely at doing more research and taking, like you said in the beginning, food is medicine. And so that's a huge, huge part of everything is eating properly, getting the best sources, having a variety of healthy foods. But then what I found was in the marketplace, it's really a minefield out there in terms of different types of supplements. There's really low cost, low quality supplements, and it's just really hard for everybody to make sense of it all. And so the one key thing, the biggest problem in my health was my digestive health, and I couldn't find a clean probiotic, and so that was really what launched the company, was finding a clean probiotic that didn't have all these fillers in there.
And that's great to know, because I think it's so confusing for people, myself included, when you go to the drugstore and it's just, bottle after bottle after bottle after bottle. And how do you know what you're actually getting in the products? Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, are supplements, they're not regulated by the FDA?
Yeah, so there are different guidelines that we have to adhere to, but yeah, there's very loose regulation, and so it's on the consumer to sort this out, and it is very hard to do, and so that's why I set out to create high quality, pure supplements. And then kind of do the work for the people is to rest assured that you can trust these products.
And so with that, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and people really are starting to pay more attention to the food that they're putting in their bodies. But on top of that, we're hearing so much more that word probiotic and gut health. Do you think the pandemic has helped bring awareness to the importance of gut health?
Oh, for sure. So we launched our probiotic. Our original supplement was the probiotic, like I said. We launched that in 2010. And if you ask 10 people what a probiotic was, maybe 2 out of 10 people knew, right? And so there's been more and more awareness. And so that's where we want to reach more people. People are more educated. And that's our favorite customer, the customer that really understands and can really grasp the value of these products. And so yes, the pandemic has brought great awareness to taking care of ourselves, whether it's growing your own food, reaching out to local farmers, to paying more attention to the supplements that you do take.
So when it comes to supplements, which one should a person take?
That's a great question. So it's interesting. Most people, when they turn to supplements, they're looking to solve a problem. Everybody wants a magic bullet. So whether you're going to a doctor or a naturopath or any type of practitioner, it's like, I want the magic pill to solve all my problems, right?
I would like one of those, by the way.
So that's human nature, right? And so again, our philosophy is, food is thy medicine, and so you really do need to pay attention to diet, eat right, and then the other thing is, you've heard the saying, "You are what you eat," and there's a little nuance there. We kind of view it as you are what you digest, and so if you have taken other medication in the past, or maybe you didn't eat a healthy diet your whole life, there are times where people have gut health issues, right? And so they can manifest in different ways, or maybe you're not just absorbing all the nutrients, right? So here you are, let's say post-pandemic or during the pandemic, you want to eat healthier, you're going to spend extra money on organic or local or fresh real food versus box packaged food, right? And then you want to maximize the value of that food, right? So how do you maximize the nutrients that you're already taking in? And so our approach is the probiotics will help, reset the gut. And then also we have digestive enzymes that helps break down the different nutrients in the food. So some foods are harder to digest for some people. And so if we can focus on the gut first, then you can maximize what you're eating. And then after that, the other component is, the reality of the situation is there are some nutrients that are just really hard to get in today's world. And so we do have a few other key nutrients that are maybe hard to get in the diet, or maybe that people don't like to eat certain foods, so they're missing. For example, when I grew up, fortunately or unfortunately, depending how you look at it, my mom would feed us liver, and that was not my favorite meal, but she did that on a regular basis, and liver is this powerhouse of nutrients. And so one of our supplements, I look at it as a multivitamin, multimineral, basically is encapsulated, freeze-dried liver, and it has vitamins and minerals, so it has like all these nutrients. But I can tell you now, I don't know anybody that eats liver nowadays.
That is true. I remember growing up, and it was like liver and onions. That was the meal. And I don't remember the last time anyone even mentioned eating liver for dinner. You're not seeing that on social media.
Nope, that's no fun,
Daniel Corrigan with us here on the MegaCast. He's the co-owner of Smidge. And Daniel, I will say, my nephew, he was having severe issues, and he was ending up in the hospital like once a month with stomach issues, and test after test after test after test. They couldn't figure out what was going on. And finally, he kind of just designed the plan, and he's very now all about his supplements, and he only eats certain foods. He makes his own meals, and he cooks for himself, and then we eat whatever we eat. But it was really educating yourself and understanding what's going on with your body has changed his life. And gut health is so important, and we don't really take that into consideration.
No, we don't. And so there's millions of those stories out there, and in my case, I remember going to the allopathic regular medical doctor. They ran some tests, and they said, and I told them all my symptoms that I was having, and the doctor looked at the tests. Your tests are normal. Go on your way. I'm like, what? I've got all these problems, and then I went to holistic practitioners. And here's one funny story was they tested me for food sensitivities. It looked like a phone book. I got this list of all the foods that I was, sensitive to or had allergies to or whatever it was. And I'm like, I was just gonna drink water for the rest of my life. So I knew there was something in between, from there's no problem to there's all these problems, right? And so we have a lot of customers that have that same thing, where it's like you're forced into taking control of your own health, for sure.
So with that, Daniel, if I could ask, because for some reason we tend to associate this with older people, but this can be an issue for people of all ages.
Yep, like myself, I was in my 20s. I started having some issues in college, and then after college, it just kept piling up. I just talked to somebody over the 4th of July, similar thing, that they start getting issues when they were, they weren't old. And that's really, it's a reflection of today's society that we are not educated, we're not connected with the farmers, and so some of these things are creeping up earlier and earlier in people's lives, and like you said, it's just a matter of time before they present themselves, and they present themselves in different ways in different people.
So with that, Daniel, can I ask you, it can be confusing for people when they go to buy some of the products. How do you know what to get, and can you take too many supplements?
Yeah, I had a whole cupboard full of supplements at one point in time, and it's like overwhelming. Like if you look at any of the marketing material for any supplement, you think that's the one I need, right? And then pretty soon you got 20 bottles of everything that you need. But really, again, going back to the name Smidge, small batch supplements, it's about creating balance. So really, we want people to focus on their diet, and then absorbing probiotics and digestive enzymes. And then, there's other nutrients that are hard to come by. And so really, when somebody's looking at the shelf, at the store, looking at different products on the market, it's not about super high doses. We probably, our bodies were designed to not take supplements, right? So we were designed to grow and thrive and be healthy and with real food. And so I think that's the biggest message, the biggest takeaway is that's the number one thing you can do is try to eat real unprocessed food. And then when it comes to how do you find out what you're missing, you can do tests, but some of it, it's very nuanced, and it's very hard because if you do a standard test, it might say, hey, you're low in this, but everything has to be in balance. And so we're all about balance. So the caution is don't take mega doses, and really you shouldn't take one group of people will say, I'll just take a multivitamin, but that can be in balance too. So it's almost, it's kind of pay attention to the diet, pay attention to gut health, and then maybe add some other things after that.
So with that, again, we're talking with Daniel Corrigan. He's the co-owner of Smidge. And with that, can I ask you, what's the supply chain been like for you? And where do you get your supplies to make these supplements?
Yeah, so the supply chain is with COVID, obviously it's disrupted. So little things like the lid that goes on the bottle. We've got the bottle, but we don't have the lid. Or we've got, so there's been dynamics like nonstop, and they still continue. So that's challenging to run a business when you're always, it's like playing smack the mole or whatever. You're just like solve one problem, a new problem pops up with regards to the supply chain. And so some of our things are manufactured here in the U.S., but other things like for our vitamin C, the richest natural food source of vitamin C is something called cockatoo plum, and that's grown in Australia. So we have that. We work with the farmers in Australia and have that product shipped. It's manufactured there, dried. Basically, it's dried cockatoo plum. And so the difference between that and, let's say, a store-bought vitamin C, a store-bought vitamin C might have ascorbic acid, which is just one component. But when you have the real food source, like cockatoo plum, you're getting all the cofactors, bioflavonoids, you're getting the full package. Your body recognizes it. Hey, this is real food. I know what to do. It's got all the cofactors. I don't need a mega dose. I don't need 10 times the USRDA. So there are certain nutrients that we'll find across the globe where the richest natural source of a nutrient is, and work directly with the people that manufacture it in that country and import it over here and package it here in the U.S.
Again, we're talking with Daniel Corrigan. He's the co-owner of Smidge. It's a small batch, all-natural nutritional supplement company based out of Southfield. And Daniel, how can people find more about your products? Is this just sold online, or are you in stores?
Yep, so we're primarily online, and so we do, so we have practitioners across the U.S. and across the globe actually that will carry our products in their practice. But for most people, the best way to order or to find more information and look into it is go to our website, getsmidge.com, GETSMIDGE.com, getsmidge.com. And one of the things that makes us unique is, like you said, if you go to the store, you look at the supermarket shelf, and if you're at a high quality health food store, there's some knowledgeable people on staff. But if you're at a supermarket, or if you go online, I mean, you can buy a million different supplements online, you don't know what to do, and there's nobody to talk to. And if you go to our website, getsmidge.com, we have people, you can do online chat, email, phone call. We're there to support you, answer any questions. You know, if you have questions about your diet, your gut, which ones should you take, because there is some individuality to it. We're here to help you. We have a naturopathic doctor on staff. We have a great customer support team. And so that's what one of the features that makes us different is we're here to help you hold your hand.
That's great to know. Again, Daniel Corrigan with us here on the MegaCast. We so appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
And let's hope the awareness stays post-pandemic, but then also the supply chain issues are resolved sooner rather than later.
For sure.